Beautiful. My prayer for all of us is that song keeps running through our heads all week. Can you just say it right now? All I have is all I need.
All I have is all I need.
It's all about our relationship with Spirit, with God, with the One. And that's where healing happens. As you talked about, Virginia, there is a natural intelligence that guides our life. Do you feel it? Sometimes. But there's a natural intelligence that guides our life. And I love when Marianne Williamson speaks about this intelligence. She says that it is self-organizing, which means it guides us for success, to thrive. It's self-organizing. If we think about it, when a sperm and an egg meet and connect, they create an embryo. And the embryo gets a brain and skin and blood, and then poof, a mystery, a miracle, something magical happens, and it becomes a baby. Do we know how that happens? The scientists tell us some of the mechanisms and functioning of why it happens, but the mystery behind it that we can't explain. We can feel it, we can see it, but that magic, that mystery is that natural intelligence that knows how to self-organize to make things thrive and become and grow. And besides being self-organizing, it also, in this universal intelligence, it's self-correcting. It knows how to bring itself back to order. Proof this week, we were out with some friends and I grabbed a very hot pan that we'd been warned not to touch. And I got these giant blisters on my fingers, and one of my wise friends said, do not touch those. Like, the surgeon in me likes to pop them and, bandage them and so I let them be, and look it's only a week, and that intelligence in me knows how to heal those things. Thank you. Knows how to bring it back to balance. If we could only just be in that flow. So self-organizing, self-correcting, self-healing. We know how to heal and become because there is this intelligence, this power that we can use to really direct our lives in a wonderful way. Ernest Holmes used to start most of his radio shows in that beautiful booming voice of his that I can't possibly imitate, but he said, there is a power for good in the universe, greater than we are, available to all of us anytime, and we can use it. And it is that power that can guide us to connecting with that natural intelligence. The problem is, because we are creative, curious beings with free will, you know where I'm going probably, we don't always connect with that. We like to roam, we like to experiment, we like to think that we know best, right? Instead of listening first. So we can disconnect from this natural intelligence. We can disconnect from that intuition that's always that still small voice. But we have to quiet down to hear it. We disconnect from that. We disconnect from the natural flow of energy because we think we know better. Let me give you an example. We have this power to make wonderful decisions. Now, first of all, I want to tell you, Thomas Berry is he had passed away, I think maybe 9 years ago. But he, PhD, a Catholic priest, a cultural historian, an eco-theologian, which means he believed in eco-spirituality, that it's all one, that everything is connected. And he said, if we would just live with the organic balance of this world, we would be in the flow of life. But as these creative beings that love to explore and experiment and try new things, we can disturb the natural balance of this world and ourselves. And it can be dangerous. And he really, really begged us us to just start the day and say, I let the natural intelligence in me guide me to love, to healing, to interconnection, to coming together. He said, just start every day like that. Doesn't that feel good? The problem is we can say, I don't want to. We can say, I'm too busy. I have too much to do. I don't have time. And some of us, though, we may start our day, the power of God's in me right here, right now. I'm going to do all this wonderful stuff all day and be guided and directed in that moment. You know how powerful that is? Our thoughts are powerful. Do you agree with that? I mean, we know that. That's another teaching we're based on. Our thoughts are alive. They're energetic because everything's energy. And we have the power to direct those thoughts. So we may start the day. How many of you do start the day peacefully? Don't raise your hand because I don't want to know. But I hope we all do. But, get up and take time to just connect. And so we spend maybe 10, 20, 30 minutes. And that's good, isn't it? Because our thoughts are powerful. But then we spend the rest of the day bitching and moaning and complaining and whining. And I'll tell you what, all thoughts are not created equal. No, they aren't. The passion and emotion behind your thoughts, the trust and belief behind your thoughts make them more powerful. So if you spend your time aligning with Spirit and doing your good work, and then spend the rest of your day really getting wound up about the things of the physical world, those negative thoughts are going to preempt the good thoughts. But guess what? If you put the power into those good, healthy thoughts with good intention, they will definitely supersede those negative thoughts. Because I don't know anybody that doesn't have, I don't think we want to count them, but the negative thoughts in a day. It just happens. We're humans. But we can know that we have the power to direct our thoughts for something better. Isn't that good? Don't you love that? And we have the power. What I said is healing it's not fear-based. It doesn't come from the need to find a cure, the need to find this. That's not where healing comes from. The healing we're talking about is an inside job. And it comes from a place of faith and trust and knowing that there's always something more. Healing is a process. It may feel like it happens, but it's a process. If you think of Nelson Mandela, who found freedom in a prison cell for 27 years and went on to be president, the first black president of South Africa, you can imagine what he did. He wasn't feeling like his life was lost. He was using that time to do something bigger. And that's what I'm saying. Whatever the external experiences are, we have the power to use that for good. We just need to adjust our thinking to something greater, to know that we're never alone and there's always something working for us and not against us. Rumi says that the power, the Spirit is so mixed with the visible world, that the giver, the gift, and the beneficiary are one thing. One thing. So if we can, instead of fighting life, if we can choose to be in the flow of it and accept what's here for us, instead of moving right away when we get an experience that either makes us feel unwell, uncomfortable, hurts our feelings, or hurts us deeply, if we can, instead of going, why is this happening to me again? Why is this happening? If we can say, how can I use this experience to grow and evolve? How can I use this experience right now in my life to grow and evolve? How many of you could use that right now for something? Yeah, how could we use it right now to say, how can I use this experience in this moment to grow and become something greater? We have the power to do that. If we recognize that we have the control of directing our thoughts. We can direct our thoughts. We can direct our thoughts to something of good intention. And intention which Reverend Kirk mentioned this morning, we start our mornings with the intention, the vision. We start with the vision because vision has power and can direct us. What do you want for your life right now? If we start with that and let the power to bring that natural intelligence into alignment, we can do that. We can bring that to a place that where we hold, it's such a special and precious thing to do. I'm going to give you a mantra because what I know is that life is alive, right? Life is alive and wants us to be part of that process. If life is alive, we need to plug into that power and use it for our good. So first and foremost, as I told you before, we have to calm our mind. So I'm going to just ask you to unwrap yourselves for a minute, because we want to be in the flow of that natural energy. And my deep desire for all of us is to leave here this morning better than we came in. Better because we've up-leveled our energy. And if we're going to do that, we have to plug into that power for good and amp it up. We've got to taste it. We've got to feel it. So I want you to what I do is I just allow my mind to rest on my heart. Not fighting any thoughts that come in because that doesn't do any good, but just let your mind rest on your heart. We need to calm our mind. And then we need to plug it in to love, to compassion, to understanding that we have a life on purpose. We're not here by accident. We're here by a divine intelligence, that we are here to do our part in this ever-unfolding process. So we plug into love and compassion, and then we vision. We vision something bigger than this moment. Something bigger. It can be for our world that is in need of healing. It can be for ourselves as part of this world. Because remember, what science is now proving, we've always known our thoughts are powerful, but quantum physics now proves that it's the observer effect. We have an effect on what's being observed. So if we look at life brighter and happier and more beautiful, it's going to change the experience. So as we're sitting here and our mind is on our heart, I'm going to give you a mantra. And this mantra, I've done it in big groups of people for a long time, just to get your vibration to a different level. And it's only 4 short phrases, and it comes from Ernest Holmes, and you'll find it in his books in many different ways. But it says, and I'll say each phrase and then have you say it, there's only one life. That life is God's life. That life is perfect. That life is my life now. That's the chant that we're going to do several times until we can feel in the vibration of that goodness. You see, God's life, Spirit's life, is perfect. The life of this world, our life, is perfect. That's a principle that we need to plug into and live from. So we're going to keep repeating this chant. And if you feel like closing your eyes, we're going to have a little chant in the background. And the reason I like to do that is because when music and talking are going on at the same time, we don't have much control. We kind of give ourselves to Spirit. So we'll start and we'll come together. So let's just say this. There's only one life. That life is God's life. That life is perfect. That life is my life now. There is only one life. That life is God's life. That life is perfect. That life is my life now. Join me. There is only one life. That life is God's life. That life is perfect. That life is my life now. There's only one life. That life is God's life. That life is perfect. That life is my life now. There's only one life. That life is God's life. That life is perfect. That life is my life now. Keep going. There's only one life. That life is God's life. That life is perfect. That life is my life now. That's only one life. That life is God's life. That life is perfect. That life is my life now. Surrender. Keep saying it. There's only, whatever way it goes, just say it in your own mind. Just say it and surrender. Lose the control. control that your ego wants to hold on. Let go and let that natural intelligence that's everywhere present right now in your life, in my life, in our life, in the life of the world, let it unfold. There's only one life. That life is God's life. That life is perfect. That life is my life now. There's only one life. That life is God's life. That life is perfect. That life is my life now. Accepted. There's only one life. That life is God's life. That life is perfect. That life is my life now. Again, there's only one life. That life is God's life. That life is perfect. That life is my life now. There's only one life. That life is perfect. That life is God's life. That life is my life now. And just say it silently. Feel it as it opens, as it amplifies your energy, your connection to this divine, natural intelligence that knows how to organize, to heal, to bring forth, to expand, that knows how to bring this world back to its natural balance, that knows how we need to show up, to thrive, to be successful. As Ernest Holmes said, that freedom is our divine birthright. We are free to choose, to direct our thoughts, to allow ourselves to be open and free, no matter what. Freedom is ours in this moment. As we take those words and just let them settle, we take a nice deep breath. There is only one life in which we all live and move. And from this place of this vibration, the sparklies of God, I want us to vision this beautiful world in which we live. Vision it as a place of peace, a place of power, a place of love. And know that right now what's waiting for you and me is that beautiful way of peace. The way of peace. And as you and I go out in peace, as we move out in joy, Ernest Holmes said, nature herself is the body of God. And as you leave today with this vibration of being in the natural order of life, the Bible confirms that by saying you will go out in joy. You will be led forth in peace. The mountains and the hills will burst into song and sing for you. And the trees of the fields will clap with joy. Jesus said, if we try to be quiet and hold our love and our peace and our oneness, if we try to hold that back, the stones will shout. They won't let it happen because life wants us to live. Life wants us to be free. So let's get on that train of freedom together. Will you join me? The answer is yes. Yes, you'll join me. We'll get on that train, and you know where it's going to lead us? To a place where we know how to love one another, to a place where we know how to celebrate others and ourselves. That train of peace is going to lead us to a place where we can listen to people in our diversity, in all different shapes, colors, words, everything, and we can celebrate how blessed we are. So as we begin our last song this morning, I'm just going to invite you to join me and just imagine where that train of peace and love and joy will lead us as we learn to live together.